I am on my way to running errands. I know. I love that about me. A lot of people don't like driving around town. I live in Atlanta, and people complain about traffic a lot. But I've lived here for about 20 years, and I just know where to drive. And I'm not telling. Not telling my secrets. All right. Um, but I get to where I need to go in a reasonable amount of time. I just stay out of the main areas. Okay. So I know a lot of people always ask, like, what about the traffic? It's like, yeah, traffic's not that great, but when you know, you know. All right. So recently I've had some people curious about fasting. Fasting versus detox cleanses or whatever. Like, first of all, I don't do cleanses because I don't know. I don't know very much about what people are considering a cleanse. Detoxing and fasting to me go hand in hand. It is also, if I had to do the research on a cleanse, it sounds like it costs some money. Fasting doesn't cost any money. It doesn't. So, I don't know. So if you're out there and you're curious about fasting, or you're worried about, is it healthy? Does it work? How long do I have to do it? Well, it kind of depends on your situation, and it depends on why you're doing it. So it's not a one size fits all. Kind of like when you go to the store and you put on clothes, right? Like, you got to go try them on. Not everybody who is a size will it fit, right? So you kind of have to think about it that way. So there's different kinds of fast out there, and people fast for different reasons. Now, I think one of the more common ways that people know about fasting is when they go to the doctor and when they have to get a procedure done or some kind of testing. I know my parents, they complain a lot about, like, I can't eat anything before I go to the doctor because they got to do the test on me, that kind of thing. So I think most people are aware of fasting in that regard. Okay. And depending on what it is, yeah, because they know the digestive process, it takes about 24 hours or a little bit longer, quite honestly. So the the digestive process, it takes some time. So they know if you're getting a procedure done in that morning, they say don't eat anything the night before because they don't want anything on your stomach because of the medication or whatever it is you're doing. They really want, your digestive system kind of slow down at that point. And when you fast, you are, I guess, if you're doing it purposefully or therapeutically, you are giving your digestive system a rest, a time to rest. You will not pass away if you fast, okay? And then you have to reconsider what people think fasting is. So like I just said, most times going into the doctor, going into surgery or the hospital or whatever, and you're getting a procedure done, that is a type of fasting. You're refraining from food. That's all it is. Okay? Not starving yourself or anything. You are just refraining from consuming food, but your digestive system is slowing down. It's getting a rest. Okay? All right. Just saying. Yeah, it takes even longer. It depends on whatever it is you're eating. You probably shouldn't be eating certain things. Okay? But when it comes to, like, some people have asked, like, what is the best thing to do for my health? Like, do I go do a cleanse? Do I do a detox? Do I fast? I was like, I think fasting, quite honestly, if you do it on a regular basis, you should be fine. But the thing is, I think a lot of people don't know how to do it safely for themselves, and they end up craving things. They end up You know, when they do break the fast, it ends up being not as helpful as it could have been, because they go ahead, you know, make a beeline straight for fast food or whatever it is they were eating in the first place. It's, you know, then that turns into yo-yo dieting. It's like that's not healthy on your system, you know. Now, one of the things I will say when it comes to fasting that needs to be super important and it needs to be said, you must hydrate. Okay? There is a type of fasting called dry fasting, though. I've never done dry fasting. I'm gonna just be honest, I'm a little scared to do it. It involves you not only not consuming food, but you don't consume water. You don't even put certain things on your body. You don't bathe. It's hardcore, you know. And I don't know. I just never saw a reason for me to want to do a dry fast. But, you know, I've done a lot of the other types. For those who are curious, I've done a lot of the other types of fasting. But hydration is super important. Super important. Our bodies are made of mostly water, or water in different forms. I'll just say that is basically water. That's how some people get their youthful glow. That's how you are able to, like, you know, just be able to move around. Like when you're dehydrated, you tend to, you know, have headaches, you're tired, lethargic, confused, brain fog, all the things, right? So that happens when you're dehydrated. And that's why I don't think I would ever want to do a dry fast, because again, I just don't see a reason for me to want to do one. But it is an option out there available for people who choose to do it. Okay? And when it comes to hydration, it's more than just water. You're trying to replenish electrolytes in your body. It's more than just having water. You're replenishing electrolytes in your body. All right, so I tried to get out here earlier than this morning, but I'm just still, I don't know, I'm trying to be a little more lazy, or I don't want to say lazy, a little more slow, more meaningful. And I just felt kind of rush a little bit this week. I don't know why, but this upcoming week, as I'm doing all my habits, that's another thing. You know, you set yourself into, it's more than just motivation. You got to set up the habits, the routine, and plan ahead so that you can be successful. Okay? But it is a pleasant day today, I will say. I wonder, has anyone tried fasting currently on my stream? I mean, I do it often. In fact, I haven't broken my fast yet today. Okay, I drink lots of water. I haven't had tea this past couple of days. I need to make sure I have my tea for the week. But yeah, I haven't broken my fast yet today. Well, I strongly suggest anybody try fasting. You can, and I've made some videos. I'm gonna, post them maybe sometime this week upcoming about how to start a fast and how to safely do it. Because there is a way where you don't get sick. People, I know people around you are like, "What's wrong with you? Why aren't you eating?" Because we live in a culture of decadence and food, and if you think, like, okay, real talk here. All right, so I do still drink alcohol, but when I first started, I started lots of different experiments. And one of my experiment was to restore my liver. And I thought the best way to do that was to refrain from drinking alcohol. And from my reading and my research, I realized that they said it takes about, what, like a year and a half to 2 years to kind of fully restore your liver. And I was like, okay, I'm down. And so I stopped drinking, for about 2 years. And as a musician, I tend to go into bars, in restaurants, and it's kind of sad. Like, sometimes they want to pay you in beer, and I'm just like, are you serious? Give me some money, But things like that, where it's like, well, no, thank you. I don't want free beer tickets, or I don't want you to give me whatever, that kind of thing. And even if you go to a party and, people want to, like, really just give you the alcohol, just pour it in you kind of thing. And I kind of, at first I was like, oh God, I would even have to, like, make up excuses like, oh, I'm on antibiotics and stuff like that. And people would say, oh, well, that's a myth. Here, just try to shove alcohol into you. Like, it was hardcore. And I can only just imagine if you decide to fast and you're telling people about it, they're going to be like, well, you're going to just, you're hurting your body. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not, y'all. Okay? But that was my experience, even as I went dry. But I do still drink socially. I just don't do it as much. And that was yet another reason why. I wanted to not feel like I had to. And same thing with eating food or eating certain things. When you're in social settings and people want to give you free food, I still see, and I go to a lot of conferences too as an educator. That's one of the first things they try to offer you is like a smorgasbord of different foods and all the stuff. And people go ham like crazy when it comes to free food. And it's like, y'all act like you've never eaten. And not just because it's free doesn't mean it's good for you. And that's something I had to teach my brother too recently, because he got sick eating something free. And I've seen that happen many, many times over. Like, coworkers will tell me, like, oh, they got free this in the break room. They got this in the break room. And then next thing you know, a couple of days later, they're sick. I was like, did y'all not? Like, I saw that coming. I saw it coming. You don't know what's in this food. And I'm not saying people are poisoning you, but just because it's free doesn't mean you should be eating it. Okay, that's the bigger lesson. Just because it's free, you shouldn't be eating it or feeling compelled to eat it. And I think that's, again, a culture that we live in where I understand food is love. Like, and I like food. Don't get me wrong. But I like quality food. I like quality food. Okay? It's like, you're not just going to hand me something and expect that I'm just going to be eating it just because. It's like, no thank you. Okay? All right, so speaking of food, I'm at my local market and it doesn't look very busy right now, so that's good. So I can get in and out, get my fresh, because I get fruits and veg. Today, and my kombucha. I do enjoy my kombucha. Fruits and veg, and I'm trying to decide on do I want dairy. And I do very, very little dairy. And when I mean little dairy, I mean like the good cheese, not cheese product. Because so every once in a while I have like a little the fancy cheese, the good stuff. But other than that, yeah, something to go with my, like, kind of like a charcuterie board of fruit, vegetable, a little cheese, some hummus, stuff like that. So that's how I kind of eat normally. And I'll just, that's how I eat. All right, so I don't know. I might come back on and show you what I got, but I'm mostly shopping for the week. I might be picking out a couple of things for my brother too. But fasting, seriously. Um, I usually break my fast when I'm at work. I usually break my fast when the kids go have lunch. And the kids go to lunch around 11:30. Okay? I wake up at about 4:30 in the morning. I have beverage. See, that's the thing. I don't, instead of eating food in the morning, I drink lots of teas and waters and kombucha in the morning instead of eating food. I don't drink coffee. Okay? So by the time I get to work, which is around 7:30, I'm good. Like I may have worked out, done some meditations and fat and other things. Maybe a workout, maybe a meditation, maybe both. Um, some journaling, things like that. Having that me time. And I just, yeah, by the time 11:30 ish comes around, it depends too sometimes. Sometimes it might even be 9. It just depends. But I know I've fasted for at least, um, let's see, usually I make my last meals around 8 o'clock. Like I try not to eat past 8 o'clock. So that's way longer. That's a 12-hour, 16, almost 16 hours, almost. I don't know, fast daily. Okay. So that's one of the types of fast out there. All right. So, yeah, let me run in here to the store. Like I said, I just get fruits, veg. Um, I don't feel like cheese this week, so maybe I'll just get hummus. Yeah. Every once in a while, I'll drink or have a yogurt, but not really. I'm trying to get away from too much, especially as this spring is starting, and that activates my allergies a lot. It doesn't help. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll be back in a bit. I'll talk about how I don't get on a scale because I don't need to. All right. Bye.